Two-time Hall of Fame inductees, Brent Godarzi and Marty Young. Back-to-back #1 trucking firm in the nation. Back-to-back best attorney and best law firm in East Texas.
Hello, Buckeye Nation. Jeff Rash here, the host of the Gilmer Coaches Show. I'm here today with some special guests. Obviously, our head coach and athletic director, Mr. Alan Metzel, every week, since it's his show. And then I'm joined with two of our more famous Buckeyes, I guess you could say, and two of three sets of brothers that we have on the team, right?
Right.
So this is Dylan and Rowan Flewellen. And so these guys had a big night the other night, so we thought we'd bring them in here and pick on them a little bit, right? And let them kind of evaluate what's going on the field. Because it's one thing for us to talk about it every week, but to actually have the guys that were on the field playing the game, I thought it would be a lot of fun for you guys to watch. Yeah. So before we get playing, though, we get going on the show this morning, I want to talk about some of the stuff that this program has meant to you guys. We always talk about Coach teaches that, you know, football is kind of a microcosm for life itself, you know, the things that we learn down here, right? Mm-hmm. And so what kind of things can you think of off the top of your head that is kind of what this program's meant to you? How are you going to carry this, the things you learned down here, into adulthood?
Okay, so one thing is like accountability. We all hold each other accountable, like through school, on the field, and off the field type stuff, and it kind of pushes each other to be better, to be our best self. Yeah,
and you're a captain.
Yes, sir.
On this team. So how does your role what's your function as a captain of this team?
Okay, so we all have our different roles as captains. You know, I personally bring like the energy to the games and get everybody pumped up, get everybody ready to go. Like they see me and how I'm ready to play and my mentality going into the game, and I feel like they feed off that energy.
Yeah, I'll give you another example for him, and he would need me to say it, but he's been one of the most selfless guys this year. You know, and he gets a lot of touchdowns and press and that kind of thing, but it's never an issue to him this year. You know, the way he carries himself, which makes the rest of the team excited for him when he does it, it's the way it ought to be.
Yeah.
And that's very impressive.
Yeah, I always tell kids, you know, when you score a touchdown, don't act like an idiot. Act like you've been there before. Right. Like, I do this every day. Here you go, ref. Here's the ball. I'll be back in a few minutes, you know. And I think that is, so you feel like it's your example. That it's your job actually to set the pace. And I will tell you that I've said this on air several times. You and I have talked about it a lot. I've watched a lot of football over the years. Here, you've been here
19 years.
19 years. I've been involved with the program about that long. Up in the box watching all this stuff happen. But this is one of my favorite groups. And I've had a few over the years, but this is one of my favorite groups because they are really quality, good kids. I'm talking about, these are remarkable young men. Polite, respectful, they work hard, they show up for practice, they're serious about what they're doing. I mean, it's a cool thing. So, Rowan, what about you? What kind of stuff do you think that this program's doing for you that's you're gonna carry into adulthood?
I think just carrying off what he said, just becoming men as you get more involved in the program and stuff, and like growing up in here, like you just look up to everybody and looking up to him and the rest of the seniors and just wanting to play for them because it's their senior year and wanting to go all the way to get them that chance and just doing good stuff.
Yeah, now see, I've watched this one grow up because he's in Braden's age. And so I've watched him go from being a temperamental football player, right, Dad?
Yes, sir.
Dylan's in here. Our Dad Daniel's in here with us today. And I've actually seen this one get thrown out of a game having a growing. And to watch you come from work, because he's so passionate. I mean, but he's learned to channel that into being a pretty, I mean, this is a senior and this is a sophomore. So who's the better player between the two of you, by the way? You're really going to give it to him. You're going to lay down like that. Right?
2 years, he'll be there.
Give it 2 years. So if you were covering him defensively, because you've had a good year, man. I mean, hey, 5 picks for the year. Had a pick return we're going to watch here in a few minutes. So if you were covering Big Brother, 10 plays, how many times does he win?
I think it'll be 5-5. I'll say 5-5.
He's a politician, right down the middle, right? 10 plays, how many times does he cover you?
I'll give him 8 and 2. Me 8, him 2.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I thought. All right, good. So, so these guys. The reason I brought them in here is I know these 2 young men. I go to church with them, and I could bring in. We could bring in
A whole number of people.
a whole
Yeah.
group of kids. There's just some good kids on this one, but
Right.
I know these 2. I know their character. I've watched them grow. And of course, you've got an older brother that's not really a slacker on the football field either.
Trey's doing well.
He's turned into an absolute beast. By the way, every time I see him, he's
Right.
bigger
Awesome.
and broader. And his work ethic is
Right.
ridiculous.
Right.
That's what everybody talks about.
He
And you
breathes
guys
life.
have kind of brought that on
Yeah.
this team, and so I'm proud of both of you guys. Y'all have not only become great ballers, but you're more important. You've become quality citizens. Like you're good kids, and you're focused on your grades and acting right up there at the school, and that's good. And so it's been fun to watch that.
No doubt.
And also, a lot of people don't know this, but Rowan here is a professional tuber. Like when behind a boat, he's deadly. I've literally seen him do somersaults and land back on the tube. I mean, it's fun.
Sometimes on purpose.
Yeah. Now, most of the time because I'm throwing him
Yeah.
around it. Yeah, it's for fun. So, Coach, what did you see this week? We obviously had a big win.
Right.
First round. Congratulations,
Thank
guys, on your victory and another trophy. Got the second round coming up this next week. We'll talk about that in a minute, what that looks like. But I usually ask you what did you see you liked and what did you see you didn't like. Surely there's not much that you didn't
Not much
like.
I didn't like.
Yeah.
Not much. What I liked was the first of all was the preparation coming into the game. I got asked all week long, are you worried about a letdown from the PG emotional game? And what I was able to say every time was, no, I'm not. And the reason I wasn't was because of the way they worked. When you come back and you work like they did all throughout the week, I wasn't worried about a dip in production. Now emotion goes up and down.
Sure.
Intensity is a choice, and they chose to bring it every day. And you saw that on Friday. They came out and took care of business. They executed at extremely high level, and so I was very pleased. We want to do that again this week.
Yeah, I mean, execution was just nearly flawless on both sides of the ball. The defense obviously been performing at a really
Very
high
high
level
rate.
all year long. They played extremely well, and then
Right.
offensively, arguably the best game we've had. Right.
I agree.
This one had 4 touchdowns, 1 called back. If he would have got the 4th one, it would have been a school record, by the way. Which, no, I hate to rub that in. Your coach could have threw you one more. I was begging, but he wasn't there to set records. He was there to
Right. Win the
he's-
game and move forward.
He's trying to be a gentleman. I don't get it. But anyway, that's why I'm not the coach, right? So let's watch some plays.
Okay.
Let's look here and we'll go through some plays together. We've got about 10 plays we're going to run through, and you guys chime in if you want to. If you see something there that coach doesn't point out, or if he asks you specifically, obviously
I'm gonna throw
chime
this
in.
one- Yeah, I'm gonna.
So this first one is, look at here. It's Tennyson to Fluellen.
Right now, when we're in trips and we're into the boundary, and so when we did that, we felt like the guy would come up and press Dylan. So Dylan, when you're seeing press like that, what's your thought? What are you going to try and do?
Once I see press, I'm just already knowing that that's touchdown. Unless you put that safety over the top, as in like Gator, it's touchdown.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. He's going to watch the move he makes to get off the release. Great job getting down the bottom of the numbers. Of course, Brandon threw a perfect ball, dropped it right on his head. Touchdown.
I love how he high points the ball. He goes up.
We always want to catch it high.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
So this next one is this is going to also be this is a repeat, right? This is Tennyson to Fluellen again. This time it was on a post route.
Right, so we're going to take him to the goalpost. So right now, when you lined up out there, Dylan, right now, what did you see that you knew you were fixing to get it?
Okay, so I saw the safety come down.
Yep.
And all night with that motion, that safety was coming down hard, so I knew that it was just going to be me in that corner one-on-one.
That's right. So that's why we went to this route. You can see I've got it drawn how we're going to do it right over the top of that safety. We go in motion. The guy runs up with the man in motion. Again, Brandon puts it up in the air. We always tell him don't overthrow it to Dylan because Dylan can go up and jump so well. And so we always want to put it in a position where he can go up and make the play.
Yeah, and he did again second time around there. He's high pointed, which we've seen all year, especially in this north end zone over here in the corner. He's scored like 10 touchdowns over there. It seems like. But this next one, we're going to go to the defensive side of the ball because those guys played so great.
Right.
And this is one of those big defensive linemen that just is played great all year long. This is Borda being aggressive
Derek Borda playing nose guard. You're going to see him really be aggressive, get up the field, and stop Canton in the backfield. You always like it when your defensive line is playing in the backfield, and so you get to see him right there. That's a 300-pound guy, or just about 300, and he moves pretty quick.
Yeah, what's that defensive line average weight?
I would say
285?
probably a little less than that. Derek helps pull it up there a little bit. I'd say somewhere probably about 255, 260.
Oh, really?
Because you got Tristan McKeon who brings it back down. So
yeah, but Tristan, those front three that you started with this week,
with Braylon, right?
Borden and Braylon. That's
Tristan's just had the ankle that's been twisted. But you're right, and he made some plays in this game.
Some big boys. So this next one's a lot of fun to watch. It's almost this is back to. This is Tennyson to Fluellen again.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, again,
we're going
to get another post route here over their safety. We went to an empty set. So, Dylan, what you thinking right here?
I'm just thinking about how the safety's going to drop, and then as I'm getting deeper down the field, I see he's locked in.
Mm-hmm. He's looking at the dig route right there, and so we went right over the top. Again, goes up high, plays off the guy trying to get a hit on him, and just walks into the end zone. Great job.
Now, this next one's almost hard to explain. There's a lot of stuff going on here. So, Coach, tell us what all we're about to see here.
Okay, I've got circled here. This is McKeon, and you're going to see him knife through the offensive line, and then I'll pause it and try and explain the rest of it. But I wanted to make sure we pointed out Tristan's effort here because he's the one who got it started, beats his man, and so at this point, he's making the quarterback throw off his back foot. So right there, that was critical in the throw. So the ball goes up. Now here you're going to see Rowan right there cut under the receiver, get his hands on the ball, and as he's going down, right here, the ball deflects up right to Davion Smith, who then takes it to the house.
Yeah, if you're going to hand the ball to somebody, you want to hand it to Davion. Yeah.
Yes, he's hard to catch.
Takes it all the way back, so he gets half a pick for that one, right?
Ro, tell us what you saw as you're chasing this guy over here.
Well, actually, at the beginning, he came off the route he came off just jogging a little bit, so I was a little bit questionable about that. And then he started running, so I came and I was waiting for him. I was just lurking for the ball. And then when he threw it, I came up, and I guess when I went, I couldn't get my other arm out, so I just tried to grab it. And then I guess when I hit the ground, it bounced off my body. He picked it up.
That's
so, Rowan, you've had more interceptions than anybody this year. 5 picks, I think. You just seem to have a knack for getting to the ball. How are you doing that?
I'm just using the tools the coaches give us every day in practice and just keying in on that stuff every day.
Yeah, I got another question for him while we're on it because we always talk about this. So he doesn't look like, when he's running the ball, let's say he makes a catch and a run, or maybe it's a jet sweep, he doesn't look like the fastest human being that's ever played for us, right?
Correct.
And he's not. He's fast.
He's fast.
He's real fast. But he has this weird knack for weaving and just like water flowing down a creek bed. You know what I mean? He just weaves through the defense like he knows where they're going to be ahead of time. How do you do that?
I'm just focusing in on everything, like all my surroundings and stuff, and I guess just watching what they do.
I think it comes from growing up with older brothers who are really good.
That you're running from. Yeah, you better run better than that.
Yeah.
That may be true. I didn't think about that. This next one, and Mason Hurt had a good night the other night. He had 2 touchdowns. This is the first of 2.
Right. So we've got Mason up at the top of the screen, and we're going to send our running back in motion. You're going to see how it affects the corner up at the top. I've got the arrow drawn, and he comes up to play the running back, and that's when Brandon puts it on Mason right behind him. So here comes the corner. Mason's wide open, makes the catch. And then Mason turns on his jets.
He did. I didn't know if he was going to make it down there or not, but he did. And a good effort to get in the end zone.
Great job.
You know, it also goes to the reason this is the first game I've ever watched where we had 100% pass completions in the game.
12 for 12.
Yeah.
361 yards and 5 touchdowns.
Yeah,
no incompletions.
Yeah, it's
pretty amazing.
It's a testament too to what Tennyson's doing and his quarterback coaches and how comfortable he's got.
Right.
You know, back there
knowing where to go and then putting it on him.
Yeah, and having the receiver weapons that he's got.
That's
it's
right.
like I feel sorry for a defense trying to figure that one out.
A lot of weapons.
Because if they go over here and double team this one, dump it to little brother,
Mason,
dump it to Mason,
Luke Watson.
put it out to Luke, you can put it
Then
out
you
to
got all our running
Jaden.
backs. Mhm,
You know,
Jaden.
I mean, it's just
That's right.
weapons everywhere. So
Good stuff.
that was a good one. So this next one is McKeon and Watson. This is Tristan and Luke,
Mhm.
basically that's forcing the ball back inside where Hernandez, who by the way,
playing
field
really
goal, the winning field goal obviously against
PG.
PG and
That's right.
does a great job. By the way, I didn't realize a guy could punt like that.
Yeah, he can kick it.
I mean,
Mhm.
man,
He and Cody Guidry are really good
they
at
can
that.
punt the ball,
That's
can't
right.
they? So this is where Hernandez makes a tackle.
You bet. You're going to see Tristan and Luke keep outside leverage, which turns the ball back inside. Here comes Jose filling right into the spot that those guys turn it back into. So that's how you
That's textbook.
that's how you want it to look right there.
That is textbook stuff right there.
That's right.
So this next one is Rowan again. This is his pick six.
Mhm. Ro,
First pick six.
there you go. Coaches up here, Ro. I've got an X. You're back there and the back of the screen. But you'll come into the picture in just a second. So tell us what you're seeing.
Actually, whenever he's coming off the ball, he's coming off slow again, and he came up to me like he was blocking. So I was looking at the ball the whole time, but I stayed on him,
Mhm.
and then he threw the ball, so I just went up and got it, and then you see that perfect block by Caleb Fitz,
Mhm.
and then just took it to the house.
See, he ran through all that traffic like it wasn't there.
Right.
You know, most people start freaking out when they get in traffic like that.
Mhm.
Rowan just keeps flowing, just north and south.
Right.
You try to teach them to run north and south, right?
Mhm. That's it.
Don't stop, don't juke, don't turn. I mean, if you can move forward,
Move forward.
which is what he seems to do. Well, look at all this traffic. He just runs right through it like nobody's there.
Exactly.
It's a good run, Rowan.
Very skilled.
Proud of you. Let's see. This next one is, again, this is another Mason touchdown.
Mhm.
Just a great throw here by Tennyson.
It was. We felt like they had an open spot. They were playing a safety down in the box, and so we took Mason on an inside route. He runs a really good route, gets in the wake of the inside receiver, makes a great catch. The ball was a little bit behind him, and he was able to make the grab and run away from the defense for a touchdown.
Great
Excellent
job there by Mason. He's had a great year this year.
Yes, sir.
And then this next young man, you said normally plays guard for us.
He plays left guard. He's our starting left guard. This is Taylor Neely, and we've been trying to build some depth at some positions, bringing some of our D-line over to O-line. In this case, we bring one of our O-line over to linebacker, and so I've got him circled here. He played linebacker in the JV, on the JV, so it's not like he hadn't done it, but you see him in here really being physical.
physical.
Yeah.
You see him
Right.
throw him down. And he had a couple of tackles just like that. They
He
weren't
did.
just tackles, they were
Right.
him picking up,
Manhandling.
manhandling.
Right.
So, big, strong kid. And defense, of course, has just played
Outstanding.
crazy this year.
Mhm.
I mean, unbelievable. So, got another win. And I pointed this out to you. Congratulations, you're 10-1
Thank
on
you.
the season.
Yes, sir.
District champ.
Yes, sir.
All you have to do is win 5 more
That's
games
it.
for a ring.
That's it. Yeah.
That's it.
That's
I mean,
it.
half the games you've already won. How hard can that be, right?
That's right. That's right.
So how good do you guys and how confident, if you guys are lucky enough to make it through this next, we're going to talk about Godly next,
Mhm.
our next opponent. And then if you're able to make it past the third round, you're going to see PG again in fourth round. How confident coming off of that win with them do you guys feel? What's the morale feel like?
I think it helped everybody confidence-wise out a lot because there was a lot of kids that, some people think size and they just think that they can't do anything about it. But as you saw, our O-line blocked their butts off that night. And I think they gave up probably about 2 or 3 sacks the whole game.
Yeah,
So it was a big confidence booster. And I think everybody's going to be ready to see them again.
yeah. You're not intimidated. How old are you right now, Ron?
I'm 15.
15 years old.
Yes, sir.
Crazy. Playing on the field, when you come out and you see somebody the size of, let's say, a PG, for example. By the way, this is the first time we've seen an O-line that wasn't just
Monsters.
300 pounds,
Mhm.
average.
Mhm.
But when you see an O-line or a team the size and physical and athletic and well coached like PG at 15 years old, does that intimidate you at all, or are you just out there to do your job? How do they coach you not to worry about that?
It doesn't really get to me because when I was a kid, we go to the park playing people way older than us every day, just doing the stuff we do. And I just look at it like this is what I do, and I'm gonna do it however I can.
Yeah, they put their pants on just like we do, right? It doesn't matter.
Mhm.
Size doesn't matter. It's about skills,
That's right.
execution, it's doing your assignments
Art.
over and over. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that old size of the dog in the fight. Yeah.
Mhm.
So let's talk about Godly.
Okay.
What do we got this week? We're going to be playing Thursday night,
Thursday night,
7:30. 7 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 7 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
And it's not-
Mesquite Hanby, not
It's
the one with the
Hanby.
tower.
Right.
It's actually easier to get to when you get to Sunnyvale. You get off at that exit and just take that right around to the stadium.
Okay.
That's
All right, good
easier
deal.
to
So
do.
Sunnyvale exit and right there at the
Mhm.
stadium.
Mhm.
So don't go to the one with the tower. We're not going to that Mesquite
That
Memorial or whatever.
It was
is, yeah.
already taken. So
Yeah,
we
we've had some good games in that
Yeah.
one. So
We played several at Hanby before.
I enjoyed playing in Lindale. That was
Yeah,
an incredible
that was a beautiful
place. I
place.
wouldn't mind playing a few
No
others
doubt.
there.
No
It's a
doubt.
great one.
You
So
bet.
what's Godly about? What do they
They've
got?
got a quarterback who really throws the ball
He can
around.
sling it.
Yeah, he has, if I'm not mistaken, the most yards in a game this season.
Yeah.
And I think he's tied for the most touchdowns in a game this season with like 8.
Yeah.
So he had 608 yards against Aubrey in their game.
Yeah.
So he's, he can sling it around. They know how to score points. They're going to be a formidable opponent. For us, anytime you're in the playoffs, you know, okay, we've got to bring it today, and we plan to do that. That's our goal.
Yeah. So we want everybody certainly to come out.
Absolutely.
And Daniel, I'm going to ask you to step into the picture here for a minute. This is Daniel Fluellen. And Daniel, for those of you, probably most people know him, I think, around town. Daniel is the father of these two,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
And Trey Fluellen. And how many kids do you have total?
9.
9
6
kids.
boys, 3 girls.
And see, I've been begging him and his wife, Sherry, shut us both down on this. I'm like, could you make some more Buckeyes? Because you're keeping us going.
Some good
And
ones.
she's done with that. This is it. This is the last one right here we're going to
There you
get to
go.
watch.
There you go.
So I know you're proud as a father,
Yes, sir.
right?
Definitely.
So when you look at what your boys, all your kids, of course, but when you look at what these boys have been able to do, and getting to play under this guy and these coaches back here, because you and I have talked about this before, and how
Many
grateful
times.
as fathers we are for the program, not just for the football, but the program.
Right.
What are your thoughts about that? I mean, how does that make you feel as a father, and how does that help you as a father when you're raising boys in this world?
Well, it makes it easy. I mean, when you have gentlemen in the boys' lives like this, I mean, you yourself in the community, you've always been a part of Rose's life. It just makes it that much easier. This program, the way it's set up and the way it's designed, is for success. It breeds success.
Yeah.
And to not have that stress, to know they come to school, the same thing that we teach them at home, they're going to get at school.
Yeah,
If there's a problem, he's going to give me a call.
yeah,
And the boys know that.
yeah.
So, I mean, I can't complain a bit. I mean, it's just an amazing program all the way
It
around.
really is.
Right.
And as dads, and a lot of people may not realize this, but a lot of the reasons, because these boys, at this age, we know how we were,
Right.
up
Right.
up in the school,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
And the thing that kept you straight most of the time was not the principal or the assistant principal.
Is what happened at home.
And what happened down here
Right.
with
Right.
coaches. And those guys know they have something to lose
Exactly.
down here. And that's what
Exactly.
keeps a lot of them straight there in the school, because they don't want to be,
There's
what,
something to
what
care
what's the
about.
punishments they do out here where they have to push
We
the,
have 2x4s, and you bend over and push it down the field and back as many times as we deem necessary.
Yeah.
And
have
it
you ever
gets
done that,
old.
Ro?
He rolls.
Not that.
We have various ways of doing it, so different people have different forms of
The
punishment.
kids that are the biggest and strongest, those are the guys that stay in trouble the most, right? They're pushing the plane.
A lot of times. A lot of times.
So Daniel, what I know you're as grateful to we're talking about Alan because he's here, but I could go in there and thank
All the
this,
coaches.
Tommy Edwards and
Randall Kennedy.
having
Just
Randall
all the way.
back this year. I mean,
That's-
all these guys,
Yeah.
having Stump back,
Mhm.
helping out. It's been great. I know
Mhm.
you guys look up to Stump, and he's giving you guys some good guidance. What as a father, what would you say to these guys? Like, what do you say to them?
I mean, these coaches give these kids every tool they need to be successful, not just on the field, just in life, period. And I mean, that's what it takes.
Yeah, that's-
And at the end of the day, that's what it takes. As long as you have the tools to do the job, you'll be successful.
Yeah, that's what it's about. I tell anybody that doesn't understand, when we're talking about sports, and they say, oh, this emphasis on athletics and that kind of stuff. But man, I just wish I could make you understand. There's so much more.
So much more.
There's so much more going on there. There's so much more life lesson there. And I'm not taking the thing about, they got to learn what's in the classroom.
Right.
But down here's where they're learning, things that really you're going to carry into life.
Application.
I look at my life. You probably could say the same. I look at my life, and FFA was a big influencer for me. Obviously, we got the best ag teachers in the state of Texas here.
Absolutely.
and what I learned in this field house about life and about getting along with people and working as a team and work ethic and leadership and all those things. Those are the things that I look back on from my life now.
Right.
That I look back and go, okay, where did that come from? How did I learn to push myself beyond comfort?
Right.
You know, in my job or whatever, the tenacity, and I look back and athletics was a big part of that.
Sure.
Exactly.
You know, wouldn't you say, Daniel? We played together.
Definitely.
Daniel and I played together. And so we kind of went through the same program, but our program was great. I'm not taking anything away from it, but it's not even close to what they do today. Is
not
it?
even, of course.
It's not even in the same realm. And so we're grateful for you, Coach, and on behalf of you for all the coaches here, all the way down to think about Max Lowe.
Oh, phenomenal. And Todd.
Him and Todd
Yep.
down there on that junior high level, and these guys are really knuckleheads. And I'm talking about my own knucklehead, believe me.
Yeah.
And those guys guiding those guys, and teaching them.
Through a tough era of your life. You're trying to figure out who you are, and your body's growing and changing and everything, and they're helping them in that phase. That's huge. Austin Schaefer and Clay Causey help them, and that's a talented man coaching staff right there.
Yeah,
So
and
grateful.
those guys put a lot of time in
A lot
these
of time.
guys, and they don't get the same reward,
Right.
sometimes when you think about it, But they're year in, year out, and they're laying the foundation for what
That's
these
right.
boys are doing here.
That's exactly
Because they're
right.
doing down there exactly what they're going to
Exactly
do up
the
here.
same.
You
That's
know,
right.
so I think that's important to recognize those guys, that do that on a level. And I've had the pleasure to go watch. I know you have the Buckeye Maker, and the Buckeye Maker is like, I don't know how you describe the Buckeye Maker. I call it just where you torture our children.
Something like that.
Is that what you? Is
Boot
that
camp.
accurate? Is that kind of accurate? Yeah. And I've watched it, and it's
Mm-hmm.
intense, man. It is crazy what these guys have to do. And for them to get to stop the process of the Buckeye Maker, everybody has to perform. When the coaches think they're ready, they have to perform. But every single person has to execute on that day. If anybody slacks off, the whole team doesn't get to pass. And I've been there when the whole team passed, and it was the coolest thing ever. It was emotional, in fact. As a father, I filmed it.
Yeah.
It was like amazing. And I've also been there when they thought they were going to pass and they got shut down in front of about 100 people that was there to watch them graduate that. So because they don't get a pass.
Nope.
No pass.
You're not learning something then.
Yeah.
If it's given to you.
Yeah.
You got to go do it.
I think a lot of the boys look up and say, "Oh, there's 100 people here to watch us finish today. There's no way the coaches would shut us down
Right.
in front of these people." And I probably thought that too, and that didn't happen.
No.
So that's what it's all about. And so, folks, we want to thank you. Don't forget, 7 p.m. Thursday in Mesquite.
Yes. Mesquite Hanby Stadium.
Hanby Stadium. So come out and support the Buckeyes. If you don't, make sure you watch them on the TV broadcast. And we'll bring all the action to you live. And hopefully, as much as they like to sling the ball, these guys will get a couple of picks in that game as well. We're holding you to that. Okay, Ron? Need number 6 and number 7 in this next 2 game, all right? So, folks, thanks for watching today. We appreciate it. Want to thank you guys for joining us today. What a great family. And
Awesome.
great
Awesome people.
contributors to the community.
That's right.
Look forward to watching you boys step into manhood and what you're going to bring back to the community. So,
No doubt.
thanks for watching, and we'll see you on Thursday.